Fight Island caps off Saturday night, and this one headlined by a title fight. Devieson Figueiredo against Joseph Benavidez for the vacant flyweight championship. Figueiredo knocked out Benavidez back in February, but Figueiredo did not become the champ because he missed weight. Let's head out to Fight Island for the flyweight title bout main event. Devieson Figueiredo on a 3-fight win streak made weight Friday, caught a late flight to Fight Island due to a false positive COVID test. Joseph Benavidez looking to avenge his loss to Figueiredo back in February following a controversial headbutt prior to the knockout. The most popular wager on William Hill, Benavidez moneyline plus 210. Tough luck for those bettors, though, because it was all Figueiredo. 45 seconds into the first round, Figueiredo knocks down Benavidez with a right hook. Then it's ground and pound for Figueiredo, dropping elbows. A minute later, Figueiredo has Benavidez in a chokehold. Benavidez with terrific defense, getting out of the chokehold, eventually able to get to his feet. 45 seconds left in the first round. Figueiredo connects with another right hook, knocking down Benavidez to the mat. Figueiredo smells blood. More ground and pound. Under 20 seconds left. Figueiredo gets Benavidez into another rare naked choke, and this time submits Benavidez as the officials come in, ending the fight. 4 minutes and 48 seconds into the first round, Devieson Figueiredo wins the flyweight title. He's the first Brazilian flyweight champion. First time Joseph Benavidez has been submitted in his career. Rashad Evans picked Devieson Figueiredo on HQ Friday night. This was his top play for Fight Night. Looking here at your winning wagers. The most popular wager on William Hill with 52% of the money was Figueiredo on the money line at minus 260. Figueiredo via submission plus 900, and Figueiredo in round 1 hits all across the board. Jack Hermansson against Kelvin Gastelum in the middleweight co-main event. Jack the Joker Hermansson coming off a loss after winning 4 consecutive fights. Meanwhile, Kelvin Gastelum lost his last 2 fights. He is desperate for a win on Saturday. 30 seconds into the first round, Hermansson takes Gastelum to the mat. After some positioning, Hermansson goes after the leg of Gastelum, gets Gastelum into a heel hook, and he is not letting go. Gastelum taps out after 1 minute and 18 seconds into the fight. Jack the Joker Hermansson wins by submission after he called out the winner of the Whitaker and Darren Till. That takes place next Saturday at UFC Fight Night 174. Rashad Evans said on HQ on Friday, take Jack Hermansson. If you listened, you cashed. Let's take a look at those winning wagers. Most popular wager on William Hill with 50% of the money on Hermansson on the money line at minus 120. That cashes Hermansson via submission and under 2.5 rounds. That all comes in. Now looking at the full list of main card results headlined by Devieson Figueiredo, he becomes the flyweight champion. His fight was one of 3 first-round submissions. Joining us now, CBS Sports Combat Sports Insider Brian Campbell. BC, we saw Figueiredo get the knockout win over Benavidez back in February. Tonight, he was even more dominant in a win by submission, getting the vacant flyweight title. Just how impressive was this performance, and what is next for the flyweight division?
More carnage for the flyweight division in all the good ways, because let the Devieson Figueiredo era begin. That's about as dominant as it gets in 2 consecutive fights, to not just capture the UFC vacant flyweight title, but to seize it with force. This man is an absolute destroyer on his feet. We saw how much his punches affected Joseph Benavidez throughout this first round, and to see him that savage on the ground, going for submissions, becoming the first fighter to submit the 35-year-old Benavidez, who, oh, by the way, goes by the nickname Jiu-Jitsu because he's so good on the ground. This really felt like a shift in momentum for this division, which has always had a problem with Demetrius Johnson as its face. He was too dominant, not exciting enough to some people. We had Henry Cejudo star power for a bit, but he retired, and it's time for Figueiredo. What's next? There are some fun names building up, from Brandon Moreno to Askar Askarov, who had a big victory over number 3 Alexandre Pantoja on Saturday night. This is now a division that you must see. And to have a guy on top with fun hair, heavy hands, and talking trash, I can get behind this.
Yeah, and the carnage. Bring it all on. The co-main event featured another first-round submission via heel hook, where Hermansson took down GASTELUM. Heading into this fight, Vegas saw this as pretty even bout, but it didn't turn out to be that case here, Brian.
No, this was a surprise at how quickly and the method that it ended. Look, Kelvin Gastelum needed this win to remain in that elite company, to be in that greater title picture, despite the fact that his record over the last 6 fights wasn't that impressive. He had lost to many of the elites consecutively, and he never got off the ground. He never got started in this one, despite coming in tremendous shape and focus for this. This was Jack Hermansson's night. And this was a big win for a guy who himself appeared to be close to that title picture when he ripped off 4 wins in a row. Got knocked out late last year, of course, by Jared Cannonier. But he came back. Yeah, the fight ended 78 seconds in before we really got to see what it was going to look like. But you credit Jack Hermansson for being aggressive on the ground. He's got a high gas tank. He seems to have a high fight IQ as well. He's someone to look out for as Gastelum's stock drops in a big way, despite being just 28 years old.
Well, after that fight, Hermansson said he wants to face the winner of next week's Fight Night main event between Robert Whittaker and Darren Till. BC, what are you expecting during next weekend's headliner? And do you think Hermansson is a worthy opponent for that winner?
Yeah, this Whittaker-Till bout is one of the best of the summer without question. A lot of questions to see if the former champion Whittaker, who got knocked out by Israel Adesanya in their unification fight and has delayed his return for personal reasons, can put the train back on the tracks and be the same guy. Is Jack Hermansson, with 5 wins in his last 6 over 2 years, deserve to be in this company? Yes. It's going to be hard for him, though, to cut the line if Robert Whittaker in particular is able to get the victory over Darren Till. He's very marketable in his native of Australia, a hotbed MMA area right now with the likes of Israel Adesanya, Alexander Volkanovski as champions in that greater oceanic region. That is also a region that's doing great right now with COVID cases, so it wouldn't be a shocker if you were able to see Whittaker get the win, that he would certainly go back to the head of the class for a rematch with Adesanya down under. But big win for Hermansson just the same. He's going to have to probably end up rematching Jared Cannonier to get even closer to that. But it's interesting to see the middleweight division this red hot at the moment.
Other news coming down on Saturday night was the main event for UFC 253. Israel Adesanya set to defend his welterweight title against Paulo Costa. What's your initial reaction to this setup for September?
Give me the smoke. Give me all the smoke, right? Please. This is about as fun of a fight as you can make. And it will be about the 3rd time UFC trying to make that. We all remember Costa having the shoulder injury, pulling out earlier this year, and then the fight was delayed due to the quarantine. But these two don't like each other. They're 2 unbeaten, really rising stars in the sport. Adesanya could be an all-timer in terms of what he's showing you so far. But Paulo Costa gets up in your kitchen. And to see the trash talk between them, to see how they fight, it's just a perfect match. Costa's pressure with that key counter-punching ability from Adesanya. That fight will be very important. And I just mentioned the winner of Whittaker-Till will be waiting. Jack Hermansson, you got Cannonier coming back. Hey, this might not be lightweight or featherweight or bantamweight, but the middleweight's got it going on just the same.
I mean, the build-up, you got to love it, making for an exciting event. Thank you, Brian. Looking forward to the 4th Fight Island event in 3 weeks coming up next Saturday. And if you want more from Brian Campbell, make sure you check out the State of Combat podcast. Wherever you listen to your podcast, the State of Combat podcast is there. You know the deal. Download and subscribe today.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.